You ever heard Charles Barkley mention, now I ain't trying to take shots at Charles, I'm just mentioning something he said about we're not role models.
Right.
He said something to that matter, and I beg to differ. You carry a responsibility.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Around the Association. Ed Reed, we know most recently was about to sign as the head coach of Bethune-Cookman before going on a live and actually showing that the school was not up to code with different things or things that he felt was, kind of showing a lack of presentation. Basically, they didn't present very well, and since then they've moved on. They hired a coach, and of course, there's still a lot of talk on Ed Reed. Where is he going to land? I'd heard Jackson State was looking to offer Ed Reed, but nothing is coming to fruition since then. I know he's been an analyst for the NFL couple of times, but Ed Reed's retired Hall of Fame, had one of the greatest careers from that safety spot ever, so he's not really pressed. Now his purpose, I can tell, is not even just about football though, so I know he seems very driven about kind of counseling and taking on kids, because he's kind of walked that walk. And now he's in a place now where he feels like he can be, his skill set and his life experiences can be best utilized teaching some of our youth. And one of the discussions he kind of got on today was in regards to the environments we come from. And so that piqued my interest, because that dynamic I'm 1000% with. Like, a lot of times you'll see where people trying to decide whether, it's nature or is it nurture. And I'm one of those people that believe that your personality and who you become is 99.99% nurture. That nurturing piece, what kind of environment you grow up in. That's why you can have siblings separated at birth, and one goes here, one goes there, and you see what kind of environment shapes them to be who they become. Not that it's an end-all be-all. Obviously there's a lot of people that come from environments where they weren't supposed to make it out. Those are blessings, and Ed Reed actually touched on that. Even got in a disagreement in regards to something Charles Barkley said, and something a commenter said in regards to the environment that they live in. Take a listen here what Ed Reed had to say.
The environment that I'm from has really bad structure. I'm from a small town called Shrewsbury, Louisiana. Shrewsbury is it's 5 minutes out of New Orleans, going west. It's in Metairie. It's in Metairie, Louisiana. It's like 2 seconds. You could throw a rock to it from New Orleans. Like, I'm right on the outskirts. And if you know anything about most cities, the outskirts of the city, the environments are terrible. Structured bad. Structure and environment. That's what we're talking about. Read the pin down below. Talking about structure and environment. Talk about your neighborhood that you grew up in. Let's talk about the neighborhood you grew up in. So to change the structure is to change the mindset. Chicago, one of them cities. Baltimore, one of them cities. Everywhere has one of those cities. Everywhere. Every state has one of those cities. Yeah, so they have those cities everywhere, and so I'm a product of that. I'm a product of bad environment, with bad structure. I'm a product of it. So you can make it. You can make it out of those situations. I'm pretty sure many of y'all on here are from those same bad environments. Right? If you from a bad environment, could you put some fire on the line for me? Put some fire on the chat line if you from a bad environment, bad structured environment. Throw some fire on the line for me. So y'all who throwing the fire on the line, y'all from bad environments, right? Everybody who's throwing fire up on the line, you from a bad environment, bad structure, bad environment, right? So let me ask you this. You've made it. Have you made it out of that situation? If you made it out of this situation, give me a yes or throw some smoke on the line. Throw some smoke on the line if you made it out of the situation. If you made it out of a bad structured environment, put some smoke on the line. Put some smoke on the line. Let me know if you made it. If you're taking care of your business, you're paying your own bills. You know what I'm saying? You're responsible adult. How you doing, big brother? You're a responsible adult. So, Dapper Don. So let me ask y'all this. All y'all who put the fire on the line, put the smoke and say y'all made it out the bad structured environment. If you can go back to that environment and do it all over again, would you want it to be bad structured environment, or would you rather it be a lot more helpful? You like that environment to be a little bit more structured, where it was more suitable and not so hard for you. Now, see, you can make it. You can make it again, right? You can go and do it again, but would you rather go back to that same environment? Now, J. Cole, I agree. I agree with you to some degree. I agree with you. I agree with you, should I say, on the grounds that I know common sense stuff that we learn, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like common sense stuff that you learn from the hood and from going through things. It does teach you something, right? But how many of your friends could not make it through those situations? You understand where I'm coming from? I hear you wouldn't change a thing, man, but I disagree with you. You got to change something. How many of your friends didn't make it out of that bad environment? So you made it out. I made it out. But you know how many of my friends didn't make it out that environment?
15 is not even an option. It's costing me more to move from before that, right?
Yeah, street smarts help, but I left a lot of friends in the streets. A lot of my friends didn't make it out the streets. See, the bad structure will have you appreciating it more and you can make it. One can make it. One to make it out. One make it out, but what about everybody else? Marlon said it is not meant for many to make it. 26 reasons. What's up? The bad structured environment is just what Marlon Williams said. It's not meant for many to make it out. You understand? A bad structured environment is not meant for everybody to make it out. So why do we want a bad structured environment? Why do we want that? You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's all. I'm from a bad structured environment. It's the trap. Make it make. I feel you. I don't know what you mean by that, Fleet. A lot of people aren't very comfortable where they are. Life is about change, but everyone is not willing to change. Ooh, that's deep. That's deep. Do what? You feeling good? What don't we need more structure? We need more structure. I don't understand what you wrote there. Somebody said, what you mean by bad structure? I mean, poor teaching, right? Poor teaching. You understand? Bad curriculums. Policing. The hood. I mean, on the hood. My next move, my best move. You know what I'm saying? My next move is my best move, man.
What you doing right now?
I'm an analyst right now.
No, on the phone.
Oh, this is just my live. Answering some questions, talking about structure and environment. You know, how you're raised or just the environment you find yourself in now. Like the cigar lounges versus a club or something like that. You would much rather come to these type of environments.
I'm a recovering alcoholic.
Okay.
I got 6 years sobriety.
Congratulations, brother.
Yeah, I'm listening to an AA meeting right now. You know, it's funny, I was listening to you speak. I grew up in Brooklyn. I grew up in Memphis.
Brooklyn, let's go.
I don't know if you know Bed-Stuy.
Yeah.
Bed-Stuy.
Yeah.
I grew up where Biggie grew up.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in the Bushwick Projects in Brooklyn. And I was listening to what you were saying. And I go with a lot of my friends. I remember I had this guy's name was Jesus.
Yeah.
Everybody called him Kitty. And, you know, Kitty's been in and out of jail.
Word.
Times over at Rikers Island. A lot of my friends, stuff like that, I go visit them.
Word.
And everybody's like, how did you get out? I mean, you used
Yeah.
right? You were gifted. God gave you a gift.
Yeah.
God gave a gift. You know, you had the wherewithal to put that to use.
Right.
My particular case, you know, I mean, I just got lucky. I mean, I always had mom. You know, growing up in Bed-Stuy, in front of the projects,
Right.
it wasn't easy, man. I always
Right.
asked myself, how come I got out and a lot of my friends didn't?
Right.
You know? And I do a lot of motivational speaking. I spoke over at the University of Miami,
Word.
graduating class, MBA, and stuff like that, you know. And I always look back on it. At the end of the day, especially my walk, my sobriety,
Yep.
it boils down to 3 things. And actually, one of the founders of AA said it. He said, he was actually a doctor, and he wrote his prescription.
Mhm.
Doctor's prescription. He said 3 things. He said, trust God,
Trust God.
clean house,
Mm-hmm.
and help others.
Clean house and help others.
If you do that in life every day, man, the God will be with you will be just exponential.
True.
It will.
No doubt.
take care.
No doubt.
It's about helping us. Every morning I wake up and I get on my knees and I ask God to rid me of the bondage of self. Because I'm inherently a very selfish person. You know, I want to.
Word.
I wake up every morning thinking, how does tea get tea? Truth of the matter.
Word.
That's the sin in me, right? And AA, you call it character defects, but I call it sin.
Gotcha.
So I ask God, rid me of the bondage of self, and hopefully put somebody in my path today.
Yeah.
That I can serve, that I can help.
Word.
You know? Even if I don't know.
Yeah.
If I don't know that I help.
Like right now. See what I'm saying? Yeah.
And that's how I try to live my life today. I try to help an alcoholic and recovery alcoholic and try to help somebody.
No, that's what's up. That's big.
What's up, D?
Helping someone else definitely changes your mindset. How you doing, man?
Buddy, when you gonna DJ again?
I'm not sure, man.
And, like I see somebody like you and I ask myself, how do you take your celebrity status? Because how do you stay grounded? You know what I'm saying? Because you have to be around, you have to be all around everything that, I'm not trying to get religious or anything like that.
No, you're good,
You have to be
man.
around, the shit that makes man crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The celebrity, the women,
Yeah.
the drugs, the alcohol.
Yeah.
How does somebody like you stay grounded and still serve as a, as somebody that young kids can look up to, both in the hood and out the hood?
Yeah. It's pretty much the same thing you said. God first, family, where I come from. That's what I was sitting talking on the live about. No, from Louisiana. Yeah, right outside of New Orleans, Metairie, Louisiana, a small city. That it was just like Bed-Stuy, bad structure in the environment. Bad environment with a lot of things that you can get into the wrong stuff. And I'm sure, like my story, regardless of us being where we're at and seeming to be by ourselves, there were people who poured into us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a lot of people, mentors, that's poured into me. And whether they knew it or not at the time, you know what I'm saying? They've helped me to stay grounded. My parents were huge on that too, don't get me wrong. My parents, laid down the law. Who
was the disciplinarian in the house?
My mom.
Moms?
My mom, 'cause my dad was always at work.
Right.
Dad worked. When I woke up, Dad was gone. When I got back home from school, he wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So that was part of, I ain't gonna say bad structure, but somewhat, because your parents do have to work, but it's also helped me to mature to the man that I became. But I also was into a lot of other stuff because they wasn't around, as much. You know what I'm saying? But, those people who poured into me, man, they helped me stay grounded because they're my guardian angels. I still conversate with them. I still talk to my mentor. You know what I'm saying? Like that, having the right people as elders that are leading you the right way. It's like, you ever heard Charles Barkley mention, now I ain't trying to take shots at Charles, I'm just mentioning something he said about we're not role models.
Right.
He said something to that matter, and I beg to differ. I think everybody's a role model, especially if you're an elder. Once you become a certain age, or you have nieces, nephews, everybody's a role model. Parenting, teacher. If you're in a position of authority of young folk or anybody who don't have the capacity of understanding, you are a role model to them. You carry a responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Whether you know it or not, people can pick up something from you. They look at you a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So those people keep me grounded. The ones that poured into me, my mentors, guardian angels, coaches, a boss that I work for.
I'll never forget my history coach. When I was 16, I was stealing cars. And I ended up in juvenile hall. My mom didn't know what to do. My mom raised me herself.
Word.
And she was like, I don't know what to do. My history coach was a track coach. He was like, I'll take him under my wing.
Yeah.
And then that's I ran track high school, I ran track college. Sports,